Good morning. Good morning from Rheinhausen. Hello, Anna. Nice to have you joining from Amsterdam. Hi, Monica. It is day 8 of February 2023 and day 8 of the 10-minute portrait challenge. And it's really nice to be able to hang out and draw together. I have another really inspiring musician for us to sketch, who I have seen twice in Leipzig perform live. And the first time it was just so mind-blowing. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, and that all of this sound was coming from one person with a frame drum. And I'm really looking forward to sharing this reference and the music of Mohammad Reza Mortazavi with you. If you are not familiar with him, then be sure to check out the link in the description. It will take you to one of his videos. And there are lots of videos that are not on his channel of live recordings, and he's played at the Sydney Opera House and many places in Germany and the world, originally from Isfahan, and now lives in Berlin. And I listened to a podcast yesterday, which was super interesting to learn, to hear a bit more of his history. And there are some really incredible albums of his, which I love. So I definitely recommend checking out Mohammed's music. It's just incredible drumming skills, mind-blowing. Hi Maya, nice to have 6 of you here with me. Let me know where you're joining from and what you'll be working with today. I'm going to be using ink again, and I have this reference I shall show you. I have a different setup today. Let me know how this is compared to how I usually do it, because I've swapped my cameras around. Now you can see the things behind me, and I'm wondering if the picture quality is going to be better on my workspace. So let me know. And I just did this drawing of Ricardo, which is going to be for this month's Patreon tutorial, which is fun. Ricardo is fun to draw. And so this reference that we have, it's not as much it's not purely Mohammed's face, and it reminded me a lot of this piece, which I did on the weekend, which I really liked, of Eric Dolphy, because it incorporates more gesture. It's going to be pretty challenging getting it down in 10 minutes, but I think we can do it. We're here for the challenge, and it has the beautiful shape of the drum, and then a smaller portrait. So I think that's going to be fun. That's what we're going to be working on. And let's just do it. 10 minutes. I'll be working with ink again. Maybe I'll just push ink all this month. I don't know. I do love ink. So we'll see how we go. Wait a minute. Where are all my drawing tools? Make sure I've got everything. I was just sketching Ricardo, so I had a different setup. And I'd love to know, as I'm drawing this, tell me how it looks compared to how it normally does, because I've swapped the 2 cameras around. 10 minutes, starting now. And maybe you'll even be able to watch the countdown as we're drawing. So, how do we go about this? This incredible drum. There's something so wonderful about percussion and drumming. For the longest time, I thought I couldn't make music after not succeeding in what did I try? Cello in primary school and saxophone in high school, and it just didn't work out. And I was just like, okay, I just can't make music. It's not my thing. And then a wonderful friend of mine, Morgan, said this thing to me once, which I heard Mohammed say yesterday as well, that everyone has a heartbeat, so everyone has rhythm. And in this podcast, which is in German, if you look up, it's not a direct interview. We don't hear Mohammed speaking, but he was interviewed, and it was like relayed what he had to say. But he also said about the varying rhythm of the heart, and this was this thing that Morgan said, which inspired me so many years ago, that everyone has a heartbeat because everyone has rhythm because everyone has a heartbeat. And that got me thinking, oh, maybe I could make music. And I had, I guess, when was that? When I was 20 or so. So I felt like I'd kind of given up on music, making it. I enjoyed listening to it, but it was like I just can't do it. And then it was drumming and percussion, which kind of was the gateway, because everyone can move their hands, everyone can tap on something, and I started playing around with that a bit, and never to a degree of mastery, but just having fun, enjoying the process. Hi, Irina. The drumming by hand was something which really made me think, oh, this is a thing I can also do, and I think it's something that's quite accessible. And then to play around and have fun with drumming a bit, and then to hear someone like Mohammad Reza Mortazavi, what is possible with the drum, and it's really mind-blowing. The live experience was just so incredible. It was at a festival in Leipzig called Ancient Trance, which is like it started as a mouth harp festival. It's like a world music festival, and so many incredible musicians there. And I just remember the sound of the sound check as he was preparing for his concert was just like, what is this? It's so good. You just got to check it out. And if you ever get the chance to experience it live, just the visceral experience of sound is just so incredible. And the way he wasn't just playing the drum, it was like he was playing the crowd, and the way everyone was moving and dancing, and just really, really incredible. And he did a lovely stage presence, like just that mind-blowing skill, and just seemed so humble and devoted to his instrument, which was really touching to experience. It was interesting listening to the podcast yesterday to hear that he was classically trained in Persian drumming in Iran, and that he started making his own compositions, and it was not really welcome by the traditionalist kind of institution, and what was said was that it's like only for ancient masters to create their own compositions, and it sounded like he moved to Germany to be able to more freely explore music and not to be confined by the traditionalist limitations of the music tradition that he was born and raised into, I guess, which was really interesting. I'll start with this little brush first, since we have a much smaller portrait, and see kind of how much ink is left over from yesterday. Last night was the Tuesday Zoom sketch session, which is always awesome, which you're all invited to come and join. And I was working with ink a bit yesterday as well. Well, mostly with the parallel pen, which is the big calligraphy pen. but I'm really enjoying using ink so much at the moment. Is anyone here into drumming, percussion? Anyone watching? Have musical pursuits and passion as well as drawing? Got 3 minutes left. Oh yeah, you can see it. You can see it now. That's an interesting addition. Should I do this more often? Should I have the time ticking so that you can see it as well? Tomorrow night at 9 p.m. German time is going to be episode 10 of Drawn Together, and Gries will be our guest, who is also a musician, a Berlin hip-hopper and aspiring ukulele musician, and he's a really incredible teacher and does so much amazing stuff. For any of you who may not be aware of Gries and his work, I know many of you are, it's going to be really fun talking to him. And yeah, I don't know where the conversation will go yet, but we'll be we may touch upon music, creativity in general, and teaching. Such a wonderful, prolific teacher who also has a wealth of experience live streaming and a really wonderful community surrounding his work. So that's going to be super fun. I'd love you to join if you have time. There are now 10 of you here. Hello. When you get a moment, you can say hello in the chat. Give me a thumbs up on this video. That's always wonderful to get a bit of resonance and support, because that will also help other people to see and be shown this video. And if you didn't catch the beginning, this is Mohammad Reza Mortazavi, who's a really incredible Persian drummer. And there's a link in the description below. So that's 10 minutes. I'd like to keep going a little bit more. The at least 10-minute portrait challenge, as Barbara said yesterday. So there's this nice kind of gesture going in here, but there's I don't know, it's still wanting a bit of attention. So I'm gonna give it a little bit more attention, and I would love to hear from you all how you're doing, where you're watching from. And yeah, I'm doing these 10-minute portrait live streams every day this month, and I now have so many inspiring musicians that we could draw that we could just, I don't know if it'll roll over into March, but we'll definitely be repeating this 10-minute portrait challenge and a lot more musicians to draw. We're going to be having a break this Saturday, so every second week I do a Saturday live stream. But we did last week, Faces of Jazz, that was really cool. So then next weekend on Saturday we'll do another bunch of 10-minute portraits, and maybe we can get a few more musicians sketched then. a face and two hands, but I kept the face small. I knew that it would be pretty challenging to do this in 10 minutes, but we're here for the challenge, right? And it's after the Eric Dolphy one that I did on the weekend. I just thought it was really nice to incorporate more gesture into the portrait. But if you feel like you need more time, come back to this and continue at your leisure. But if you just want to leave it as is, then that's of course totally fine too. All right, so that's about it for today. It could do with a bit more time and attention, but the idea of this is to keep it doable and not to have to invest too much time in each individual piece, and just by cumulatively doing lots of short pieces that we just get a lot of practice, get to see a lot of faces and experiment, try some things out, and the more we sketch, the more we see and learn, and it's just really cool doing it together. So thank you all for being here, for watching. I'm just pushing it, not stopping, can't stop. And then put in this big heavy shadow in the face, and it's like, oh my goodness, what have I just done? Can I redeem this? So that's always fun, It's interesting doing it like on stage, doing these things live and experimenting, and then being like, whoa, what's going on? So I'm challenging myself as well as challenging all of you with this 2 hands and a face 10-minute portrait. It is a beautiful photo, isn't it? So nice. These 10 minutes are killing you. Sorry, Annette. I don't want to kill you, but a bit of. So I'm really into having cold showers and ice bathing, and I've learnt that exposing yourself to some stress can actually be really good for you. And since it's stressful, but it's safe because we're just drawing and we're not hurting anyone and we're not hurting ourselves, maybe a little ego death as we draw. And we're like, I thought I could do better. But it's only 10 minutes, so it's a little, just an experience. And all of that experience coming together, stressing ourselves as we draw in a 10-minute time frame, hopefully leads on to us, pushing beyond our comfort zone and learning something, trying something new, learning and growing together. That's the idea. How was my setup today? Did anyone notice a difference? I'll be definitely going back to have a look to see how the picture quality is compared to the other ones. But I hope this has been an enjoyable experience for you, if somewhat stressful. And we'll be back here tomorrow, same time tomorrow. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to those who are watching after the live. You can give me some more thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Leave a comment. The setup was great. That's good to hear, Anna. Thanks for the feedback. And if there's... What was I going to say? If you're watching this now, you can say something in the live chat. If you watched the replay, you can also leave a comment. Definitely go check out Mohammed's music because it's incredible. It's so good. It's so complex. Like some of it's kind of like, whoa, what am I listening to? But when he like gets into a groove and there's just like both of the hands are like playing a different rhythm or something, it's just kind of like this mind-bending musical experience. And he's really pushing what the instrument can do and what the human hands can do. It's really incredible. Okay, the drawing is besser sichtbar. Yeah, that's what I wanted to know. It's like, so the way I had it set up before, this camera can't blur the background. So I had it so that my face was in focus and the background's a bit blurry. So now like my picture quality up here is probably not This is not as good as it was before. But we're here for the drawing, aren't we? So if the drawing, the quality of my workspace is better, that is good. That's what I want. Because this way I have less control over my face. But hopefully I can have a really nice setup so that you can really follow along with the drawing. So I'm glad to hear. Thank you, Maya, for letting me know that the drawing looks better like this, because that's what I was hoping. So fabulous. You loved this one. I'm glad that you loved it. Ike, you love the introduction of the timer. Cool. Yeah. What happened? Why have I never done this before? So now I will have the timer in future 10-minute drawings. I think usually I have like my pens and stuff here, but it's cool having the timer on screen, right? So in future, you can sweat as you see the time ticking down, and you'll know if I'm cheating and going over the time limit. So yeah, we can do that in future drawings. Have the timer here. I look forward to drawing again with you tomorrow. Thank you all for being here. Have a wonderful 8th of February. That's it for now. I don't know if when I click end stream it actually ends immediately. I still don't understand this thing, but I deeply appreciate you all being here, and I'm just gonna hit end now and see what happens.